5 fragrances that are discontinued that you need to check out before they're gone for good. Stick around. Fellas, welcome back. It's Robert, your everyday gentleman. Now I know it's been a while since I've talked about men's style and fragrances, so I figured let's do that today. Now obviously, I'm a bit of a fragrance guy, but one of the unfortunate parts of being part of this hobby is that sometimes a fragrance that you love ends up getting discontinued. So today I'm going to share with you some fragrances that are either already discontinued or soon to be discontinued. These are fragrances that I love and that I recommend that you check them out before they're gone. Now these fragrances are going to be more set for either warm weather or transitional seasons, which is perfect really because right now we're in the middle of summer in LA, so it's really hot. But you know, fall isn't too far behind, so these transitional seasonal fragrances will be a good fit for when that time comes. And of course, I'll put the links down below in case you want to pick any of them up for yourself. Now, if you're new to my channel, I want to welcome you. If you're interested not only in fragrances, but also things like men's style, grooming, fitness, whiskey, cigars, and other topics for the everyday man, then this might be the place for you. Consider subscribing and joining the growing EG family. And if you're already a member, I want to thank you for your continued support. And without further delay, let's get into it. Now the first one up is Spicebomb Fresh. Now this is one that makes me really sad that eventually I'm not going to be able to get a new bottle. Now I picked up this particular bottle not too long ago. It's still got a lot of juice in it, but I am seriously considering picking up a backup bottle for when this one runs out. Now if you're a fan of the original Spicebomb DNA, then you're gonna really like Spicebomb Fresh if you haven't gotten your nose on it already. It's essentially the same type of DNA that you get in the original Spicebomb, but just toned down, maybe a little bit fresher, especially in the opening. That's gonna fit a little bit better when it comes to warmer days. Now to me, this scent is gonna be perfect for not necessarily the high heat of summer, something more like a more mild summer day or a summer evening, or if you're on a date in the summertime, obviously, even though right now we're still stuck in quarantine. But if you are, on a date with somebody that you're already going out with, spending some time together, some intimate time, it's gonna be a great fragrance for that. And because it's good for a milder weather day, one that's, warm, not too hot, it's gonna fit well as we start cooling down into the fall. Now, like I said, this has that masculinity that you get, that masculine vibe that you get from the original Spicebomb DNA, but again, it's toned down, so it's not gonna overpower in the summer heat. It's a very good compliment getter. A lot of people enjoy when I wear this, and it does last about 6 hours on my skin. Now, this one is getting harder and harder to find, and to begin with, Victor and Raw fragrances are a little bit on the more expensive side, but you definitely wanna pick one of these up soon. If you've thought about doing it, make sure you pull that trigger before you're unable to. Now the next fragrance I'm talking about that's been discontinued is Bvlgari's Aqva Amara. Now I've been wearing this one for the last few months, and it is one that I've really been enjoying. This particular one didn't make my hot weather fragrance list because I hadn't really worn it too much, and there was other fragrances that I wanted to mention at the time, but it's still a very good fragrance. This is a salty, citrusy, aquatic fragrance that's gonna be a definite winner for the summertime, and I made sure to pick up a bottle as soon as I heard it was discontinued. This one's gonna be perfect for warmer summer days, and the performance is good enough to carry you well into the evening. While most other hot weather fragrances have a tendency to die down relatively quickly, this one lasts really well. It lasts about 8+ hours on my skin. Honestly, the only thing I really dislike about this fragrance is this bottle design. I really don't like this. It lays flat like this, I guess like a pebble is supposed to look like. It just takes up a lot of space on the counter, so that's really the only thing I hate about it. Other than that, the juice is great. A definite winner for the summertime, and one you should definitely consider picking up before it's completely gone. The third fragrance on my list is L'Homme Ultime. Now this particular fragrance I've only picked up about a couple months ago, but I have really enjoyed wearing it. It's one that I heard about a few times, and I did get my nose on it a couple times, going into a department store like Macy's. And when I got my nose on it, I remember liking it, but not really being blown away by it. But honestly, truth be told, there aren't many fragrances that I can say they blew me away. But after hearing it was being discontinued, I wanted to make sure I picked up a bottle for myself. And I'll tell you, I'm glad I did, because the more I wear this, the more I'm starting to fall in love with it. This is a woody and citrusy aromatic with a bit of a floral note, a bit of a rose in it, but it's still very masculine and very classy. Now, like Spicebomb Fresh, this isn't one that I would wear in the high summer heat, but it is gonna fit well in mild summer days and of course summer nights. Now, performance-wise, this isn't a heavy projector, Longevity, I do get about 6 hours on my skin, but honestly, if you're cozying up with a date on a summer night, this fragrance is gonna be perfect for that. Now, I still currently see this on the YSL website, but it does say that it's running out, supplies are limited or something like that. So definitely jump on it if you're looking to pick it up for yourself. Now, the next fragrance on my list is Coach Platinum. Now, this scent is relatively new, coming out in 2018, and for some reason, it's already getting discontinued. Now, in my opinion, it has nothing to do with the scent. I really don't know why. To me, this is a winner. This is a woody aromatic with some nice vanilla, pepper, and pineapple notes coming through. Coach Platinum is one that I think fits pretty much any time of year, but I would stay away from wearing it in the high summer heat. Honestly, I'm really surprised that this is gone already, especially after being out for only a couple years. I really like the scent. It gives me a bit of that Sauvage vibe, but with that vanilla and pineapple mixed in, I think it's a really good combination. Now, performance on this is decent, getting about 6 to 7 hours off of my skin and a little bit longer if I spray it on my clothes. Now, this one, like I said, is already discontinued. It's no longer available on the Coach website, but some online retailers still have a limited supply. Definitely check this one out before it's completely gone. Now, the last fragrance I'm going to mention is John Varvatos Artisan Pure. Now, this is a very sad moment for me. Hopefully I don't cry, just kidding. But I love this fragrance. I really had no idea that this was actually a limited release when it first came out, which means obviously it's limited supply. So as soon as I heard that, I made sure to pick up a backup bottle, especially since this one was about halfway done. Now, earlier I'd mentioned that I rarely get blown away when I first smell a fragrance, but this is one that did. I remember when I first got my nose on it, I instantly fell in love, and for days after that, I would just pick up the bottle and just nose it over and over again. Like I said in my hot weather fragrance video, to me, this is what a gentleman smells like in the summer. It's a very woody and citrusy aromatic. In my opinion, it's a very fresh fragrance and very masculine. Now, performance isn't the best on this, but being a John Varvatos, they're known for making some very good fragrances without the best performance. I do get a relatively good performance on this one, usually about 6 hours or so on my skin. And honestly, for me, that's perfect for a day out in the summertime when we can go out. Now, this one is getting harder and harder to find, so if you do come across it, I definitely recommend that you pick up a bottle or two. I can tell you right now, I'm gonna be very bummed when I finally run out of this juice. So that wraps up my list. And now I wanna hear from you. Do you own any of these fragrances? Are you as bummed as I am that they're being discontinued? Or are there other discontinued fragrances that you're bummed are off the market? Make sure you put those in the comments down below. I love hearing from you guys. Now, as always, if you found value in this video, make sure you let me and YouTube know by hitting that like button. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you catch all future videos. And remember, being a gentleman is an everyday thing. Stay fresh, fellas.